Hi, it's Michelle, and today I wanted to share some tips on how to really move through this period in the best way possible. So, this is really unprecedented to be kind of having to socially distance or isolate yourself or be at home for an extended period of time. And especially if you're an emotional eater, this can be so trying with all of the stress, the uncertainty, not even knowing what to do, and also not having a strategy in place. That really makes everything just, we just allow ourselves to do whatever we've always done to cope with stress or any intense emotion, which is to eat. And so I've been seeing a lot of, I saw this post, and even people probably who don't normally stress eat might be doing that. But like I always say, I feel we're all to a degree an emotional eater. And so today in this video, I really want to share some tools to help you move through this period and to use it as a period where you can actually take the time needed to really look at what's been happening. So much of our days and our lives are so busy, go, go, go. We have so much stress that we don't give ourselves the time or opportunity to really look at what's happening in our lives. And I really believe this is an amazing opportunity to do that, to really look at all of the things in our lives that might not be working. So I'm going to give you a few tips, and hopefully you implement them, because that's what's going to make them work, actually taking them seriously and working through them. So the first thing, my first tip, is to make sure you have some kind of connection to others outside of where you are. So if you have friends, if you're by yourself, making sure to still communicate with others. Connection is so important. And also connecting to yourself. So taking time to sit with yourself, not just being on social media or, watching things, but journaling, writing about yourself, getting to know yourself, connecting with yourself, connecting with the situation you're going through and what feelings might be emerging from that. So journaling would be an amazing thing to do right now. The second thing is that food becomes this interesting issue, because if you've bought a lot of food in preparation, you have an abundance of food around you. And at the same time, if you're an emotional eater and dieter, and they kind of both go hand in hand, you've restricted food, or you deem food bad, and you might, you keep it at a distance. And when it's so much of it is around you, it's much easier to give in. So maybe your strategy of not buying certain foods or having a lot of food in the house goes out the window. This is a time to really see that there is an abundance of food. Grocery stores aren't closing. We have an abundance of food, and that you are allowed to have an abundance of food in your life. You don't need to restrict it. There is always more food. And this is something with dieters and emotional eaters. We restrict food so much that we have this lack mentality around food, and that it's scarce. And now it's being amplified in the media and outside of us. But the thing is that we have food. The stores are stocked. It's just that everyone's more in a panic. So reminding yourself that food is abundant, that you always have more food. There is not a lack of it. And to take that in internally, because diets don't work and restriction doesn't work, and telling yourself that there is an abundance of food, and then, of course, learning about the nutrition around it will help you. But just knowing that there's always an abundance of food. There's always an abundance of food. The third thing that I'm going to say is that this is an amazing opportunity to give yourself the space, if you feel able, to feel your emotions. Sometimes we're at work, sometimes we're out, and we don't have the space, we don't feel safe to feel what we're feeling, to cry, to just be with that emotion. And now you have that space and time, And I'm just going to preface this and say sometimes it's difficult to feel hard emotions because the coping mechanism is the food. You might jump to the food and not even know what's under there. And you will need some support around that to really dig into that. But if you are able and you have the space to feel your emotions, feel them. Use a journal. Again, this is part of connecting with yourself, and write out how you're feeling, and also physically just focus in where in your body you're feeling those emotions and allow yourself to feel. It's going to relieve a lot of pressure. Even if it's fear, even if it's panic, feel those emotions. And then you get to clarity and you can make the next best decision. The fourth thing I'm going to say is movement. Try to do as much movement as possible. Sometimes staying at home, we feel stagnant, we feel stuck, and that kind of makes us feel disempowered. And we're all doing this for the collective good. But if you are not exhibiting any extreme, if you have no symptoms, you're allowed to go for a walk. I personally live near a park and near the water, so I can walk. I walk in my neighborhood. You just maintain your distance. There's tons of online workouts and movement and even just yoga, but just making sure your body is moving. And that helps to move emotions out and anxiety. It just boosts your mood overall as well. And so the last thing I'm going to say is to make sure that you reach out for help and support. So a lot of people are doing really, if you can't leave your house or you don't have accessibility, there are a lot of different things happening that, you know, people can drop things off. You can order really amazing food, at least where I live, really healthy, health-giving food if you're not able to make meals or you've exhausted your cooking time. But this is also a time to reach out for help and support, in the sense that if you've been meaning to get to the root of emotional eating and to go deeper into it and to go deeper into the health of your body and your well-being, this is a time to reach out for support. And I do give 30-minute consults to potential clients in an effort to allow them to bridge the gap from where they are to where they want to be. And even within that session, you at least get to have a bigger awareness of what might be going on for you. And that in and of itself is very helpful to kind of see the bigger picture of what's going on. If you're here listening to this, you've already said you're aware you emotionally eat, but this might give you deeper insight in the direction you might need to go and what might be happening on a deeper level, especially if I know your individual situation. So I hope this video has given you a few helpful tips. My blog also has tons of articles and information that you can read through, and also on social media. So please reach out, leave a comment if you have any additional questions, and I would love to help you and support you through this time. And I look forward to sharing more with you, and I hope you have a great day. All right, bye.